What is up, my frosty brethren? My name is Arctic. Today is Thursday, so that means it is Gears of War discussion day. This is old Gears of War 3 gameplay from the amazing MLG channel, just so everyone knows, they're informed. Today I'm going to be talking about Gears of War maps, the new maps for the new game. And I actually did a video, link is down in the description. Remember, Link Save Lives back in October. About multiplayer maps in Gears of War 4, and I talked about kind of like the design I wanted to see with Gears of War maps, but I also talked about the map count. Now, the reason that is something I want to talk about today is because 343 announced that Halo 5 is going to have 20 maps on launch, which might be the most that has come out in a very, very long time when it comes to multiplayer maps. You know, some people might be like, oh, Battlefield had a lot, but Battlefield is like, they have a small version of the same map on the same area. It's like a different quadrant of the map, so it makes it feel a little different, but it's actually the same map. This is supposed to be 20 brand new maps, and it's kind of setting the bar for, I think, multiplayer maps going forward for shooters specifically. And the reason that is significant for Gears of War, even though it's Halo, is because 343 is owned by Microsoft. And the studio developing the new Gears of War, the Coalition, formerly Black Tusk Studios, is also owned by Microsoft. And I'll also like to point out that there are several other videos I've made that have pretty much been spot on with some of the things that the Coalition or Black Tusk is doing that is mimicking that of 343. And this could be one of those things. So I wouldn't be surprised if come E3 or even a little bit down the ways when we start hearing more about the Gears of War multiplayer, they start talking about the map count. I would be shocked if they don't match or have at least 15 multiplayer maps on launch. Now, Gears has traditionally launched Gears 1, 2, and 3 with 10 multiplayer maps. And Gears 3 had 15 maps come out as paid DLC. And I think Gears 2 and Gears 1 also follow similar models, which is an archaic model because it segments the population of the community. One segment of the community being able to play on DLC, the other being able to play on the old content. I think that model is done at this point. And case in point, Halo 5 is also having 15 DLC maps absolutely free. Now, this is a pattern that we're starting to see in game development where developers are starting to realize, hey, it's actually not very smart on our part to segment our population and our community, therefore making it a much more difficult matchmaking experience, much more frustrating player experience, and overall I think it kind of diminishes the value of a game, multiplayer game at least, long term. And I think developers are starting to actually realize that, hey, we should probably have some other things to monetize. So I'm also going to say, don't be surprised if Gears of War 4 also announces free DLC multiplayer maps. If they don't, I would be absolutely baffled. I think it's a very, very bad decision in 2016 or whenever this game is going to come out versus 2006, 10 years ago. So, you know, I'm hoping that the Coalition, Microsoft, 343, whatever their plan is around bringing their original IPs to light, to fruition, has a lot of the community mentality in mind when they're starting to release DLC and release these maps and content for multiplayer experiences for the long haul, to keep the community invested, to keep the people interested in the game, because I think the payoff is much more rewarding long term for all of the communities involved. And I think the developer is then celebrated a lot more when they don't do things like segment the population of the community, because at this point in time, I think a lot of folks, at least my age, are frustrated by that experience when it comes to shooters, when I see other developers or not AAA developers or free-to-play games making ends meet by doing the things right, in my opinion, when it comes to DLC. And they'll figure something out when it comes to monetization whether it be story add-on or some other things, skins or new characters, whatever that's going to be for multiplayer, they will figure it out. Believe me, there's a lot of smart people working in game dev that are working on finding out new monetization models that make sense for the game. So, you know, Gears of War is one of those ones where there's a lot of maps that I think they can introduce very easily, very quickly, and you know, possibly porting some from either Gears 1 through 3 and putting them into the new multiplayer experience. I think one of the things that I kind of mentioned in the previous one is I'm kind of tired of the same old maps like Gridlock or Blood Drive being thrown in every single Gears of War game. There's a lot of good maps in the game that I think could be made into you know, a remake if they were going to think about that route, just, you know, to kind of bump up that number. But I'm really interested to see new original maps. Whether or not they explore some of the same areas in the new game is obviously up in the air, but I would definitely like to see a lot of new maps and very, very little, especially ones that have been remade 15 freaking times. I'm just kind of tired of seeing Gridlock pop up every single time because it's actually not that good of a map. I'm sorry, it's just not. There's a lot better choices, especially if you look at a lot of the stuff in Gears of War 2. In particular, when it comes to map design, I think they really shine. There's a couple maps in Gears 3 that I thought really shined. Obviously, War Machine is one of my favorite maps of all time. So, you know, I think that there's a lot of options, and I'm hoping that we see some very good choices from, you know, the Coalition when it comes to multiplayer maps, when it comes to DLC maps when the game launches. So I'm looking forward to E3. Hopefully, all of you guys will be tuning in this E3, as the Coalition is going to have, and Microsoft's going to have a lot of Gears of War news, whether it be on the remake or the new game. Again, we're going to find out here very soon, so I'm looking forward to next week's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already. You guys are missing my Thursday discussions on Gears. A lot of stuff here, guys, a lot of stuff. So, till the next time, folks, I will catch you all later. Stay frosty. If you like this video, you should probably click on the one down below. That'll take you to another video. You may like it. A little bit about me. I'm a former pro player. I play PC and console, mostly shooters. I also have a gaming podcast. I do tips and tactics, live gameplays. Check out my Twitch. Also, I work in the industry. Why are you not subscribed?